So I'm Eric. I'm originally from California, but I moved to London to work with Techstars. And then there was a little offer in Estonia with Startup WiseGuys, and I figured it was the unique opportunity, and I decided to take it. Very quickly, we're going to talk about like an applied lean use case. I think it's really important to focus really specifically on what you're trying to do, who you're building a product for, and do it as efficiently as possible. So we're going to talk about a super lean MVP, and it's essentially doing as little work as possible while maximizing the reward. I'm all about that. Make it as easy as possible and focus on what you're doing. So we've all seen the customer development life cycle. We're going to focus on the first two aspects, the problem solution fit and the proposed MVP. We've all heard many use cases and stories about this, but I think these are two of the most specific and important parts to focus on when building your product. Steve Blank always says hypothesis plus experiment plus data equals insight. This is really important. I think everyone prior to me also mentioned that it's really important to experiment as a startup and capture insight from who the actual customer is versus the user. So we decided, so back at Techstars, I had a couple friends, and we were like, you know, we have like all this free time that when we're not doing Techstars things, let's build a product together. And we decided that there wasn't really any great, we didn't decide, we actually know the problem. There wasn't any great mobile e-commerce solution. And we were thinking, well, that's a big market. There's a lot of opportunity. I think we can solve it. It can be kind of fun. What could we actually do? And about this time, there was also this other great tool that came out called Tinder with an amazing interface. And we're like, well, let's try something with the two of these. We tried a couple other experiments, and we brainstormed a lot. And we actually figured out that there were, what's the next slide? Oh, okay. We actually figured out that actually could kind of work. So let's talk about what we could build and what we could focus on, because it's really important to be specific. So we coded a simple web app that had minimal functionality, but allowed us to observe our potential users and figure out what the customers want. And then we can prioritize the development based on that. So what we did is we went out and started talking to people on the street, and we got a lot of really interesting feedback. And after testing a few products, we decided that women's shoes were going to be the most popular product to put on this platform. And this was really fun. We'd go out to bars in the evening in London and just talk to women and say, hey, can we get your opinion on something? We noticed that people love to give their opinion. So if you ask this one simple question, you'll get you'll get a lot of feedback. So we built this product. We tapped into a couple databases, and we spoke to a lot of women. And we realized one major problem. We're a team of men. So how we're not going to tell women how to shop. We're going to let them tell us what they want, and we're going to put this into a product. And it seemed to work pretty well. So we went into every interaction, and we had a few key points. One, don't be creepy. We didn't want to go in and be like these creepy guys trying to build this product for women. We just wanted to not be creepy. Really important. We didn't want to pitch. We wanted to let them control the conversation. We wanted to let them tell us what we were trying to do. And we wanted to be ready with specific questions. So we were prepared, and we recorded all the information. So after a quick meeting, we'd go into our phones and we'd save the notes, and we'd look for emotions. We'd see what they got excited about. We'd see what they didn't care about, and then we'd follow up with them if we implemented. Yes.
Can I just make a quick comment on Ozan's slide? Where are you? Where's Ozan? He was saying don't fall in love with something that doesn't fall in love with you back, but that's not, shoes is the only exception for women.
See, this is the type of excitement we were observing, and very quickly the women would lose interest in us, and they'd just be swiping, and so we knew we had something. So if we built a feature that they really liked, we'd follow up with them and say, hey, can you check this out? Can you tell us what you like about it? And so the team was really we had a lot of fun with it. So we prioritized our development. We figured out what was the next important thing. So one, women wanted to sort, right? They wanted to say, this is my size, or this is the color I'm looking for, or maybe this is the event that I'm going to be attending. Can I find something for this? But more importantly, they were, can we have flats? Can we have sandals? Can we have boots? So before we implemented any single type of thing, we actually said 10 women wanted this, 8 women wanted this, 6 women wanted this, and this is how we went about our development. This is the part of the time in this presentation where I'd actually have the post-it notes, and you guys would actually each talk about your own product, and you'd actually focus on where are you currently at in your prioritization, or where are you currently at in your product, what is coming in the future, what's most important, more importantly, what's most important to your customer, and how are you going to deliver the most impact? What are the key things you can do to start making money with your product? I don't think we have time for that. They gave me 15 minutes, so we'll move right along. And it was really important to communicate what we were doing, especially in a bar situation when we were speaking to people. So we came down, we had a 1-sentence pitch, just like you spoke about earlier in your presentation. How do you get across your point? Where is your communication? What do you focus on when you're talking to a potential customer, investor, maybe a potential hire, whoever the audience is? What is this? So this is something we practice at Startup WiseGuys. We provide our value proposition for our customer because there's a problem. Now, if you know how big the market is, focus on how, talk about that, because maybe you're speaking to an investor and this is a really big problem. I spoke with a guy today on the bus who is building a new Uber solution for his home city. And I was like, that's interesting, I've heard it before, until he mentioned how big the market was. And they mentioned a few other really key statistics. And he mentioned that, I forget where he was from. Are you in the room? Where are you from? Bangladesh. And he mentioned that people who ride taxis in Bangladesh actually pay more per ride than people in Dubai. And there's no current solution. And he also mentioned that there was his current customer is one of the leading providers of taxi cabs in Bangladesh, and they're expanding their fleet from 400 cabs to 5,000 cabs, just based on his product. So these are some really key points. So this was a really great example of how he used his elevator pitch. Thank you. So final thoughts when you're building your product: focus on the customer, be bold, more importantly, have fun, and most importantly, be yourself. Don't be someone who you're not. Don't try and change who you are. Focus on your fundamentals. Focus on what you're good at and build your product with that. Because your perspective is what shapes you, and your perspective is how you're going to build a successful company. Listen, look for emotions, focus on the terminology the customer gives you, because now you can use that exact terminology, focus back on them. Focus on the customer segment. When we were talking to our potential customers or users of the app, we were also talking to men. We were talking to people of all different ages, just seeing if maybe there was a different segment we could focus on. And now I'm Erik with Startup WiseGuys. I'm just going to talk a little bit about what we do very fast. You have an opportunity to join the family. We focus mostly on B2B and SaaS solutions. We have a 3-month program. The next one starts in January. We have an amazing mentor community. It takes a community to build a startup, just like Fadi was talking about earlier. We have a lot of people who are really interested in Estonia. We actually have a really nice offer for people who want to be mentors or investors in our companies. We actually bring people out for sauna workshops, and we go out to nature for a few days, have a great facility with Wi-Fi, and let the mentors meet each other, because that's also added value for them. We have amazing partners, everyone from investors to pretty successful companies to infrastructure. WiseGuys in a nutshell, we're a 4-month program. We've accelerated 44 teams. We have a strict focus on B2B. And unlike many other accelerators, we actually have over 75% of our founders are international. So we focus on a very international community. We take a boutique approach. We work very closely with each startup. We bring in people to work one-on-one and do deep dives with them. We offer $30,000 investment. We have up to $250K follow-up, equity-free. And this is my favorite part. We have an amazing sales curriculum with amazing people, all that focus on each part of the sales funnel. We have people from Conversion XL, Growth Hackers, the community there, Stack Overflow, careers. We have people coming in and focusing on everything from even scaling your team to scaling your company. If you have any questions, please come talk to me. And pitching. We have, it's really important to communicate what you're doing. It's completely overrated yet completely underrated. As a startup, you may spend 10,000 hours working on your company, but you may only get 60 seconds. So you better use those 60 seconds as well as you can. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Yep. Who are fundamentally B2B players here? All right, not so much. That's normal. So the most important part in having a specific niche-based accelerator is the aura around it. The network will support you in a way that most of the other unfocused accelerators cannot. And that's why most of the very good accelerators, maybe except Y Combinator, has kind of niche cohorts. We do an IP one, Techstars does with companies, they're focused on certain things. There's fintech ones, there's retail ones, there's B2B ones. So while making a decision on picking up, take a look at the mentor network, and if there's something specific in your field, they will have more domain experience than the others.
Yeah, I think one more thing about Estonia that is, I think, worth bringing up here is the advantage. Startup WiseGuys is great accelerators. We've worked with several of their companies. They've been really great in attracting great talent, and it's nice that they're bringing people from all over the world. But Estonia just launched something about e-residency, and this applies for a lot of the companies in here. If you're in Bangladesh or Pakistan or in many countries, in Turkey, you have the option right now to become an e-resident, and you set up a business in Estonia, and you operate as an Estonian company. And you could do this online and apply. I'm sure these guys have some connections with that, but I think it's a terrific program, and it's great value for entrepreneurs to set up their companies in there with the help of Startup WiseGuys as well.
Perfect note. Questions?
So just actually one thing quickly on this. The mindset of Estonia is pretty interesting because, well, they're thinking if they're, oh, is that your residency card? Yeah. I think we have a couple of your residents in the audience. The whole mindset is if they're ever to be occupied again from any neighbor or any other country, the entire government will operate in the cloud. And when Estonia became independent, they were pretty influential in developing Skype as a product. And when the Skype exit happened the first time, I think Estonians held 4 or 5% of the company. And that 4 or 5%, these numbers could be completely wrong, but they're close, actually equated for 2% of GDP. And so the entire government was like, there's something to this technology thing. Let's build our country around this. So it's really easy. This e-residency platform is great. It's, I believe it's like a 20% flat tax if you're running your company out of it. I personally, I'm just a resident there. I pay my taxes in 5 clicks. I think it's almost as easy if you run your company from Estonia. So it's really a cool country. It's really a lot of infrastructure and a lot of government support in being a startup. Thank you.
Oh, so, because it's, as you close with the pitching, what's different in a startup pitching you? I mean, you listen to a lot of B2C pitches. What's different in a B2C pitch, and what should be different in a B2B pitch?
I think B2B founders are more mature. They normally know the industry a little bit more, and that's what I want to see. I want to see like what gives you the advantage to do this, right? Like there's 10 or 100 people working on the same idea. Why are you going to be the one to execute? So maybe it's the market opportunity if you're a new company. Maybe it's what's that one really fascinating statistic that you have about your users, or what do you know about your customer that sets you apart? Like last night I was at dinner with 2 people with this app for sharing social content, and I was like, okay, that's cool. You have 400 users. What's going to get me hooked if I'm an investor or if I'm interested in yours? And they said, well, our users spend an average of 12 minutes per session on the app. And I was like, that's really cool. So focus on like what are the key things that are driving your company, and focus on what makes you special. And sell yourself. You don't have to be arrogant. You don't have to be too humble, but be somewhere in between. And if it's a statistic, if it's a fact, if it's something you know, just use it.
All right, so live grilling. There was a startup, I hope he's still here. He wanted to pitch for 2 minutes. And I told him, keep on asking, keep on asking. Where is he? He left? That's going to be shameful. No, it's you. Come. Come on. Always be asking. If you get stuck, oh, this is not in the program, they will feel I'm a giant A and they won't talk to me. Like, no, come and ask. That's what we're trying to teach. He came and asked. I was about to come and pitch, but you closed the session. Can I do it? Yeah, if I have time, I will. Now I have time, and I'm doing it. That's the whole point. Guys, don't freak out. Keep on asking. If you don't, somebody will eat you alive.
Hello, my name is Dr. Akhtar. I'm the founder of My Smart Remote. Our product is for motorists and car insurance companies.
What did we do? Don't mention the product. Don't mention the product. Please, don't mention the product.
Okay. Our customers are motorists and car insurance companies who have problem with car security. We provide a solution called My Smart Remote, and it is not subjected to the techniques used by thieves for bypassing existing vehicle security solutions.
How many customers do you have?
We just finished the beta version, and we sold over 30 units.
What's the answer to how many customers do you have? Exactly. You don't have to create excuses. Oh, no, we're in the private beta. We have alpha users. Just give me a damn number. Currently, we have 10 users.
That actually lets the person asking the question know. Are they early? Do they have some traction? Where are they at? Because then the next questions that you follow up with actually matter more. You can actually tailor it. I'm not going to ask you a question about a company that could have 1,000 customers if you have 0. But it lets me know that, okay, you're young and you have different challenges, and I'm going to ask questions about this.
So we have sold it to over 30 customers.
How many of you have sold better than 90% of them? And they had no idea until you say, we have 30 customers. That's it. Otherwise, okay, this is another guy who just came in.
How did you get your customers?
Sorry?
How did you get the 30 paying customers?
Well, the feedback was good, and because we won Toyota Innovation Award, and
You can hate. How did you find them? Do they like you or not? How on earth are you cousins? Are they brothers? No. Find them.
yeah, we were awarded some awards, and so that's how they contacted us through the internet and through our mobile apps.
You are an award-winning startup. You found us because we won this award. How they like us?
I think we have one over here. Okay.
Good job.
31.
Thank you. Thank you.
And please, now I will cut you off 100 times until we become better. This is what we do for a living. If you don't like it, I don't care. But if you do a better job, other people will care more. That's what we saw.
Hi everyone, my name is Karim and I'm from Tunisia, from Expansia. To you? And I have a question on your selection process, so we can start now if you want.
Focus.
So, Expansia is for SMEs and consultants that are tired of managing all the expenses, collecting all the receipts. For them, we provide a mobile and web cloud solution to streamline their process and communication with their accountant. Any question?
Okay. What's your background?
Engineering and business, Microsoft.
Have you had this problem before?
Yes, I hated doing my expenses as a manager at Microsoft.
Okay.
One of the largest companies on the planet. And now you're targeting a completely separate market. How do you know it's the same pain? SMEs and consultants versus a manager in Microsoft. Doesn't fit.
Very good question. I have a small entrepreneurship background as well. And plus, our first users and customers showed us that we were targeting a different consumer base than Microsoft. And we pivoted that way.
So how many customers do you have?
A few hundreds.
Few hundreds.
Yes, and we have a couple of them that added up to 400 receipts in just a couple of weeks. So we starting to get our UX right.
So what's your revenue model then?
Subscription based.
How much per user?
$6.99, and then decrease based on usage. $6.99 per month.
What do you need from Startup Istanbul?
Say it again.
What do you need from Startup Istanbul?
Learn how to scale and learn how to improve. Plus, I think there is potential for customers over here.
If I showed you my backpack right now, it's just full of receipts.
Yes, just tell me you're from WiseGuys, and you get a few months free.
Thank you. Done.
What did he say? He's got what? Few months for free, not a year for free. So after 3 months, he'll start charging. On stage, he just made, what's the lifetime value of a customer for you? What's the lifetime value of a customer? Few $100, just it. I want to pitch, I came, I made $100. He can win this thing. Not you, because you're just sitting and saying, Who's next? Thank you so much. Good job. Yes, one more. Come. Bear with us.
Hi. My name is Ziad. I'm the founder of Startup News. Everyone loves stories, right? Everyone loves stories, right? This is what we do. We write stories that appeal to our client's target audience. Amazing stories. And we push them on social networks using a great algorithm that we have developed. This way, this algorithm grants the lowest, the maximum of clicks and conversions at the lowest possible rates. This way, we are the only platform in the world, the only native platform, the only native advertising platform in the world that guarantee a 10% click-through ratio. That means you will get 1,000 clicks. I'm explaining that. That means you will get 1,000 clicks. That means you'll get 1,000 clicks out of 10,000. What you'll get on banner ads is just, according to Google, is just 6 clicks out of 10,000. With Startup News, you'll get 1,000 clicks out of 10,000, and we guarantee that.
So I think you should have taken the advice and just finished strong, right? So we have a 10% click-through rate. Just end it like that. Let the investors, let the people.
Oh, like you said,
it was almost patronizing.
10% of 1,000 means. Come on, we got that. This group got that. That's it.
No, what you did. Listen. What you did actually was you told us how to divide, 10% of 1,000. So it was actually patronizing. It was like.
No, same. It always starts with the same. Who is your customer, and how many customers do you have, and how do you make money? Those are the 3 fundamentals then.
Our customers are companies of any size, whether they are startups, SMEs, or large enterprises. And we have already acquired customers throughout all these segments.
But how many?
We have 23 customers on board. We start selling on June.
And how much does it cost to be? What's your revenue model?
We actually charge $75 per article for the client for the story that we write for our clients. So, okay, I'm in an elevator pitch. Okay, so this is how we make our money. We charge $75 for the story that we write for you, and we take 11% commission on the budget that you're willing to spend on social media.
What do you need from Startup Istanbul?
Mentorship, and we are looking for investment to complete the automation of our platform, from the content creation to distribution.
Thank you.
I will have more questions for that, but good job. Thank you. You're welcome.